Hi, this is Amy with New York Optimist, and today I'm going to show you some tips for how to use Gmail as a tool to increase your productivity and manage your communications. We're going to cover how to secretly use Gmail so you can take advantage of the storage space and the search options, but still use your vanity domain, your @business.com domain, directly from your Gmail account. So you'll use Gmail on the back end to keep you more productive. We'll also talk about how to use filters, labels, and archives to keep your inbox clean without having to delete anything. And finally, we're going to discuss how to use search to quickly put any email you've sent or received right at your fingertips. So I'm at the gmail.com login page, and if you don't have an account, it's super easy to create one just down here. But since I do, and there's not much value in walking you through it, I'm just going to sign in. It's such an easy process. So I'm just signing in with my main account here. And what you'll see is that my account is actually a little messy. By showing you my inbox, I guess I'm kind of shooting myself in the foot here. And so I hope hopefully it doesn't turn you off too much, actually. As you'll see, I have about almost 25,000 emails in my inbox, and 3,600 of them are unread. And I'm not saying that you have to do this, learn these tips and be disorganized like I am, but I understand that just even looking at this could stress you out. It doesn't stress me out. I can find whatever I'm looking for. So, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But if it does stress you out to have a full inbox, just do a better job of organizing than I do. Spend a little more time creating labels, and you don't have to worry about it. You can have a totally clean inbox, but use archives and labels to manage it rather than deleting anything. This is just, again, like I said, how I do it because it works for me. So the first thing I want to show you is how to secretly use Gmail. If you're running a business or you have a website with a certain email that you like to use, you don't want to be sending emails that say @gmail.com. You want it to be, at yourbusiness.com or at your website. So we're going to talk about how to do that. So if I want to send an email from another address, you can see that my from account is my main. It defaults to orangewalk@gmail, but there are different aliases that I can choose from if I wanted to send something else. And so the way we set that up is over on the right corner in the little cog is options. We're going to go to mail settings. And under accounts and imports, so this is a little bit squished so you can get everything on the video. As you can see, I have a lot of alias addresses that I can be using, and it's really easy to set it up. We just go to send mail from another address. Now obviously you have to own this other address you're going to be using. You can't just pick someone else's and start sending email address services from someone else's account. But I went ahead and set up another email alias at my domain just so I could walk you through this. So we're going to say send through Gmail, and then it's going to send something to, Gmail wants to make sure we're not trying to hijack someone else's account, so we'll just get it to send the confirmation email and be done with that. And then we'll go to our account, click on the link, and then we're all done, and we got it synced up. Now, obviously that was really cool. Let's say we want to import another account to our. Let's say we want to import another account to our Gmail. There's a limit of 5 here, but that's, that should be just fine. We're going to use the same, the email address we just set up. demo@newyorkoptimist.com. And then we have some options here for whether we want I'll type in the password label in for how we want to set things up. I'm just gonna leave it on basic settings. Add account. Okay. So, there we have a real quick way of how to be using our Gmail to kind of on the sly to manage everything else. Now, when I say using Gmail to manage your account, one of the amazing things about Gmail is how much storage space there is. I have over 5 gigs in my Gmail, and I have a long ways to go before my account even starts to get to the point where I really need to delete anything. When Gmail was first released, it actually didn't even have a delete function on it, because the whole premise was never delete, and that you never have to delete another email again. Now, people didn't like that very much. Sometimes there's emails you want to delete. They are spam, or they make you sad and you don't want to have them. In which case, you can go ahead and delete those emails. But for the purpose, what I see happen a lot of times is that people think that in order to manage their inbox, they're deleting active conversations, and then they run out of, then they'll be emailing and saying, oh, can you send me that thing? I deleted it somehow. Well, there's no reason to do that if you're using Gmail. Anything that's potentially possibly important, all you have to do is archive. So we read an email. Okay, that's great information. But I don't want to delete it. I just hit archive, and then it saves it. It's out of my way. It's out of my inbox, but I can search for it later, and we'll go into that in a few minutes. Another thing that we can do with Gmail, like I said, is to create a filter. Now, to give you an example of how I use filters, I like to get Groupons, Living Social, those kinds of deals that end up always, they work for one day and that's it. But I don't like them always coming to my inbox, and I'll have like 10 new emails that are unread that, are 63% off house cleaning today, and it takes too much effort for me to go through and either delete them or read them or whatever I'm going to do. So I have just set up a filter so that all of my Groupons go to my Groupon label, and they skip the inbox. And I'm going to show you, and so they all end up right here. And since they are they expire, I can, if I notice that, and so I can check it like once a day, and just see if there's anything that interests me. If there's not, I can just go back, and then if I have collected enough that I know that I don't want to use any of these, I can just really quickly select all of them, and then delete the whole group, and that's a really easy way to do that. From my inbox, though, I want to show you how to create a filter. Now, I have a Google notice here, and I like to keep all my Google blogs in a filter I call Google Blogs, so that, again, I get a lot of information from them, and I don't always want it in my inbox. So what I'm gonna do, that's kind of weird. So what I'm gonna do is filter messages like this, so that whenever I get an email from affiliate network at google.com, next step, I am going to have it skip the inbox and just go directly to the label. It's going to be archived. Apply the label Google Blogs. Also apply it to these, to the conversations below here, and create filter, and that's it. Now, and we can see they end up in my Google Blogs. Now, if I wanted to undo that, I'll just go to Mail Settings, Filters, and then this is just in chronological order, so I could delete that if I wanted to. It's not permanent. Now the last thing I wanted to review is search. Search is a beautiful, beautiful feature of Gmail. Now a really basic example here is my dad sent me an email a few days ago, and I didn't file it anywhere special, so I want to pull it up. So I'm just going to search mail here, and everything that he, all of our conversations, whether it be chats or emails, all pull up, and I can just find what I'm looking for without any sort of problem. Now let's take a more complex example, because I have a friend who got married 6 years ago, and let's say I want to find a picture of her wedding. I'm going to go into show search options here rather than just using that little bar. Now I know my friend who sent me a picture, but I don't know what email address she was using 6 years ago. I can't remember. I can't use the to function because obviously it went to me. That's not going to help too much. I have no idea what she called it or where I might have stored it. Has the words, I know her name, and it's very likely that she signed her name in the email, or that it's showing as her, it shows her name on it. Has an attachment because she sent me a picture, and I remember it was in the fall of 2005. So I'll just go ahead and say November 1st, 2005. And I'll say search within 1 month because I think that was around when it was. But if I'm not sure, I could go up to a year. So I'll go ahead and search 1 month. Now I have 2 results for that, and I hope that you can get a sense for what a powerful tool this is, that I was able to just do that kind of search that quickly. So I'll go ahead and check this one. They both say pictures, so that's not really descriptive. But it looks like this is, we have a little preview that these are wedding pictures, and so I can either download it or forward this to someone, but I can access that, just amazingly quickly. So that's a really good reason to keep things archived rather than deleting them, because you can always pull them back up very quickly. And then finally, because we have just a minute, a little bonus section is Gmail offers new inboxes. Classic is just what you're used to seeing. It's everything in chronological order. Important means that based on Gmail's algorithm of what you tend to read, it highlights, it puts this little arrow or tab to indicate that they think you're probably going to want to open this one too. Starred means that these are things that you go through and star. Just you can select it as important, so you can go back and read it later. And unread obviously is things you haven't read. Priority is a combination. When we click on that, we'll see a combination of unreads, of importance, and of starred. So it's kind of all of those together. I typically operate from the classic view, but obviously there's times when anything for me that slips off the first page, I'm probably very unlikely to go back to. So I do want to check these from time to time to make sure I'm not missing anything, and just kind of bring those up to the front. So that is my review of how to use Gmail kind of on the sly, how to use archives and filters, and how to use search. I hope it was helpful. It is just a basic tutorial. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment, and I'll do my best to either answer it in the comment section or eventually make another video that will address it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.